Welcome, friends. Welcome to another session of The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. This is an outstanding book where we are on the daily basis learning some new skills that how we can break the patterns and how we can heal our own thoughts. And yesterday, all the things were related to the modern era, the healing powers people using these days to heal themselves. Where the one of the example by the author was about the magnet, and then later on how the person use his hands to heal others. So whenever we connect with infinite power within us, miracles happen on daily basis, but it is our own faith how we take the things. And today Meena ji is going to read the chapter for us, and in the end we will have the discussion, and we love your opinions. So please, even when you're watching this video later on, you can leave your statements there, your messages there, that how you what are your thoughts about this book, and how it is helping you with the breaking the patterns. And now Meena ji, platform is all yours.
Hey, Atmavandan everyone. Namaste and a very warm welcome to you all. Thank you so much for joining today's session. Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Today we're on page 61, I think. Just double check. Yeah, page 61. The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. And we're starting with the topic called the visualization technique. The easiest and most obvious way to formulate an idea is to visualize it. See it in your mind's eye, as vividly as if it were alive. You can see with the naked eye only what already exists in the external world. In a similar way, that which you can visualize in your mind's eye already exists in the invisible realms of your mind. Any picture you have in your mind is a substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. What you form in your imagination is as real as any part of your body. The idea and the thought are real and will one day appear in your objective world if you are faithful to your mental image. This process of thinking forms impressions in your mind. These impressions, in turn, become manifested as facts and experiences in your life. Architects visualize the type of building they want. They see it as they desire it to be when completed. Their imagery and thought processes become a plastic mold from which the building will emerge. It may be beautiful or ugly, a skyscraper, or a one-story shack, but it begins as a visualization. The architect's mental imagery is projected as it is drawn on paper. Eventually, the contractor and construction workers gather the essential materials, and the building progresses until it stands finished, conforming perfectly to the mental patterns of the architect. I always use the visualization technique before I speak to an audience. I quiet the wheels of my mind so that I may present to the subconscious mind my images of thought. Then I picture the entire auditorium. Its seats are filled with men and women who are all illumined and inspired by the infinite healing presence within each one. I see them as radiant, happy, and free. Having first built up the idea in my imagination, I quietly sustain it there as a mental picture. While I imagine, I hear people saying, I am healed. I feel wonderful. I am transformed. I keep this up for 10 minutes or more. I let myself know and feel that each person's mind and body are saturated with love, wholeness, beauty, and perfection. my awareness grows to the point where in my mind I can hear the voices of the multitude proclaiming their health and happiness. Then I release the whole picture and go on the platform. Almost every time I speak, having used this technique, some people stop by afterwards to tell me that their prayers were answered. As the next topic, mental movie method. As the old saying proclaims, a picture is worth 1,000 words. The fact must be stressed that the subconscious mind will bring to pass any picture held in the mind and backed by faith. Act as though I am, and I will be. A number of years ago, I was in the Midwest on a lecture tour that took me to several states. I wanted to have a permanent base in the area so that I could serve those who needed my help. My travels carried me far away, but I did not forget the idea of a permanent base. One evening in Spokane, Washington, I relaxed on a couch in my hotel room. I immobilized my attention. In a quiet, passive manner, I imagined that I was talking to a large audience. I said to those listening, I am glad to be here. I have prayed for this ideal opportunity. I saw that imagery audience in my mind's eye, and I felt the reality of it all. I played the role of the actor and dramatized this mental movie. I felt satisfied that this picture was being conveyed to my subconscious mind, which would bring it to pass in its own way. The next morning on awakening, I felt a great sense of peace and satisfaction. A few days later, I received a call from an organization in the Midwest asking me to take over as director. I did so, and I enjoyed several years of deeply fulfilling work there. The method I've just described is often referred to as the mental movie method. I have received a great many letters from people who have read my books or heard me speak, telling me of the wonderful results they have obtained by using this technique. One area in which the mental movie method seems especially useful is in selling property. If you have a home or property for sale, I suggest that you first satisfy yourself in your own mind that your price is right and fair to both you and the eventual buyer. After having done this, quiet your mind, relax, let go, and get into a drowsy, sleepy state that reduces all mental effort to a minimum. Now picture the check-in, your hands, rejoice in the check, give thanks for the check, and go off to sleep feeling the naturalness of the whole mental movie created in your mind. You must act as if this is already an objective reality. When you do, the subconscious mind will take it as an impression. Then the infinite intelligence will draw to you the buyer who really wants to have the property and who will love it and prosper in it. Through the deeper currents of the mind, the buyer and the seller are brought together. A mental picture held in the mind, backed by faith, will come to pass. The Baudoin technique. Charles Baudoin was a professor at the Rousseau Institute in France. He was a brilliant psychotherapist and a research director of the New Nancy School of Healing. He discovered that the best way to impress the subconscious mind is to enter into a drowsy, sleepy state, or a state akin to sleep, in which all effort was reduced to a minimum. Then the idea can be conveyed to the subconscious in a quiet, passive, receptive way, by reflection. As Bowden explained, a very simple way of securing this impregnation of the subconscious mind is to condense the idea, which is to be the object of suggestion, to sum it up in a brief phrase which can be readily graven on the memory, and to repeat it over and over again as a lullaby. A few years ago, a young widow in Los Angeles found herself caught up in a prolonged and bitter family dispute. Her late husband had left her entire estate to her, but his sons and daughters from a previous marriage had filed suit to break the will. Her offers of a settlement were spurned. When she asked me for help, I explained the Borden technique to her. I urged her to condense the idea of her need into a phrase of a few words that could be easily impressed on her memory. The phrase she found was, "It is finished in divine order." To her, these words meant that infinite intelligence, operating through the laws of a subconscious mind, would bring about a harmonious conclusion through the principle of harmony. Every night for 10 nights, she sat in an armchair, systematically relaxed her body, and entered into a sleepy state. Once in a sleepy state, she affirmed slowly, quietly, and feeling the statement, "It is finished in divine order," over and over again. She found herself achieving a sense of inner peace and an all-pervading tranquility. Then she went off into a deep, normal sleep. On the morning of the 11th day, she woke up with a sense of well-being and a conviction that it was indeed finished. Her attorney called her that same day. The opposing attorney and his clients were willing to settle. A harmonious agreement was reached, and the lawsuit was dropped. The sleeping technique. When you enter into a sleepy, drowsy state, effort is reduced to a minimum. The conscious mind is submerged to a great extent when in a sleepy state. The reason for this is that the highest degree of outcropping of the subconscious occurs just prior to sleep and just after we awaken. In this state, the negative thoughts, which tend to neutralize your desire and to prevent acceptance of your subconscious mind, are no longer present. Suppose you want to get rid of a destructive habit. Assume a comfortable posture. Relax your body and be still. Get into a sleepy state. And in that sleepy state, say quietly over and over as a lullaby, "I am completely free from this habit. Harmony and peace of mind reign supreme." Repeat these words slowly, quietly, and lovingly for 5 to 10 minutes, night and morning. Each time you repeat the words, the emotional value becomes greater. When the urge comes to repeat the negative habit, repeat this formula out aloud to yourself. By this means, you induce the subconscious to accept the idea, and a healing follows. The thank you technique. In the Bible, Paul recommends that we make known our requests with praise and thanksgiving. Some extraordinary results follow this simple method of prayer. The thankful heart is always close to the creative forces of the universe, causing countless blessings to flow toward it by the law of reciprocal relationship, based on a cosmic law of action and reaction. Recently, a young mother told me of her experience with this technique. She said, "I was out of work and broke with 3 small children to feed and clothe. I didn't know where to turn. Then I heard you explain that we should be thankful even before our prayers are answered. It was as if a light had gone on in my mind. I knew I had to try it." Every night and morning for about 3 weeks, this woman repeated the words, "Thank you, Father, for my wealth." She did this in a relaxed, peaceful manner, and continued until the feeling or mood of thankfulness dominated her mind. She imagined she was addressing the infinite power and intelligence within, though she knew, of course, that she could not literally see the creative intelligence or infinite mind. She was seeing with the inner eye. She was seeing with the inner eye of spiritual perception, realizing that her thought image of wealth was the first cause, relative to the money, position, and food she needed. Her thought feeling was the substance of wealth, untrammeled by antecedent conditions of any kind. By repeating, "Thank you, Father," over and over, the woman's mind and heart were filled up to the point of acceptance. When thoughts of lack, poverty, and distress came into her mind, she would say again, "Thank you, Father," as often as necessary. She knew that as she kept up the thankful attitude, she would recondition her mind to the idea of wealth. This is exactly what happened. This mother's prayer had an interesting sequel. Shortly after she began to pray in the way she had just described, she met a former employer on the street, whom she had not seen in 5 years. The former employer offered her a responsible, well-paid position. He even advanced her a temporary loan to tide her over until her first paycheck. As she said to me, "I'll never forget the amazing power of thank you, Father. It has worked wonders for me." The affirmative method. The effectiveness of an affirmation is determined largely by your understanding of the truth and meaning that underlie the words. In practicing, use not vain repetition. The power of your affirmation lies in the intelligent application of definite and specific positives. Suppose a pupil adds 3 and 3 and puts down 7 on the blackboard. The teacher affirms with mathematical certainty that 3 and 3 are 6. Therefore, the child changes the figures accordingly. The teacher's statement did not make 3 and 3 equal 6. This was already a mathematical truth that, in turn, caused the child to rearrange the figures on the blackboard. It is abnormal to be sick. It is normal to be healthy. Health is the truth of your being. When you affirm health, harmony, and peace for yourself or another, and when you realize these are universal principles of your own being, you rearrange the negative patterns of your subconscious mind based on your faith and understanding of that which you affirm. The result of the affirmative process of prayer depends on conforming to the principles of life. Regardless of appearances, consider for a moment, there is a principle of mathematics, but none of error. There is a principle of truth, but none of dishonesty. There is a principle of intelligence, but none of ignorance. There is a principle of harmony, but none of discord. There is a principle of health, but none of disease. And there is a principle of abundance, but none of poverty. I chose to use the affirmative method when my sister was about to be operated on for the removal of gallstones in a hospital in England. Her diagnosis was based on the usual hospital tests and X-ray procedures. She asked me to pray for her recovery. I was over 6,000 miles away, but this did not disturb me. There is no time or space in the mind principle. Infinite mind or intelligence is present in its entirety at every point simultaneously. Several times a day, I withdrew all thought from the contemplation of my sister's symptoms and from the corporeal personality altogether. Calmly, confidently, I affirmed as follows. This prayer is for my sister Catherine. She is relaxed and at peace, poised, balanced, serene and calm. The healing intelligence of her subconscious mind that created her body is now transforming every cell, nerve, tissue, muscle, and bone of her according to the perfect pattern of all organs lodged in her subconscious mind. Silently, quietly, all distorted thought patterns in her subconscious mind are removed and dissolved, and the vitality, wholeness, and beauty of the life principle are made manifest in every atom of her being. She is now open and receptive to the healing currents that are flowing through her like a river, restoring her to perfect health, harmony, and peace. All distortions and ugly images are now washed away by the infinite ocean of love and peace flowing through her, and it is so. At the end of 2 weeks, my sister had another examination. Her x-rays were negative. Her doctor admitted that she showed a remarkable healing and called off the scheduled surgery. To affirm is to state that it is so. As you maintain this attitude of mind as true, regardless of all evidence to the contrary, you will receive an answer to your prayer. Your thought can only affirm, for even if you deny something, you are actually affirming the presence of what you deny. Repeating an affirmation, knowing what you are saying and why you are saying it, leads the mind to that state of consciousness where it accepts that which you state as true. Keep on affirming the truths of life until you get the subconscious reaction that satisfies. The argumentative method. This method is just what its name implies. It stems from the amazing work of Dr. Phineas Parkhurst Quimby, a pioneer in mental and spiritual healing, who lived and practiced in Belfast, Maine over a century ago. He was really the father of psychosomatic medicine and the first psychoanalyst. He also had a remarkable capacity to diagnose clairvoyantly the cause of the patient's troubles, pain, and aches. In brief, the argumentative method, as employed so successfully by Quimby, consists of spiritually reasoning. You convince the patient and yourself that the sickness is due to false beliefs, groundless fears, and negative patterns lodged in the subconscious mind. You reason it out clearly in your mind and convince your patient that the disease or ailment is due only to a distorted, twisted pattern of thought that has taken form in the body. This wrong belief in some external power and external causes has now externalized itself as sickness and can be changed by changing the thought patterns. You explain to the sick person that the basis of all healing is a change of belief. You also point out that the subconscious mind created the body and all its organs. Therefore, it knows how to heal it, can heal it, and is doing so now as you speak. You argue in the courtroom of your mind that the disease is a shadow of the mind based on disease-soaked, morbid thought imagery. You continue to build up all the evidence you muster on behalf of the healing power within, which created all the organs in the first place, and which has a perfect pattern of every cell, nerve, and tissue within it. Then you render a verdict in the courthouse of your mind in favor of yourself and your patient. You liberate the sick one by faith and spiritual understanding. Your mental and spiritual evidence is overwhelming, since there is but one mind. What you feel as true is made manifest in the experience of the patient, and a healing follows. The absolute method is like modern ultrasound therapy. Many people throughout the world practice this form of prayer treatment with wonderful results. The person using the absolute method mentions the name of the patient, then she silently thinks of God and his qualities and attributes, such as God is all bliss, boundless love, infinite intelligence, all powerful, boundless wisdom, absolute harmony, indescribable beauty, and perfection. As she quietly thinks along these lines, her consciousness is lifted into a new spiritual dimension. She feels the infinite ocean of God's love, dissolving everything, unlike itself in the mind and body of the patient for whom she is praying. She feels all the power and love of God are now focused on the patient. Whatever is bothersome or vexing is now completely neutralized in the presence of the infinite ocean of life and love. The absolute method of prayer might be compared to the latest developments in ultrasound therapy. These were explained to me recently by a distinguished physician in Los Angeles. The device she uses in her work generates powerful sound waves at extremely high frequencies. When these are focused on areas of body where there are abnormal tissues, the affected cells resonate to the ultrasound and respond to it. To the degree that we rise in consciousness by contemplating the qualities and attributes of God, we generate spiritual waves of harmony, health, and peace. Those on whom these waves are focused then resonate to them and respond. Many remarkable healings have been achieved by this technique of prayer. Crippled person walks. Dr. Quimby often used the absolute method in the latter years of his healing career. One of his manuscripts describes how he healed a crippled woman. He was called on to visit this woman who was lame, aged, and bedridden. He states that her ailment was due to the fact that she was imprisoned by a creed so small and contracted that she could not stand upright and move about. She was living in the tomb of fear and ignorance. Because she took the Bible literally, it frightened her. In this tomb, Quimby said, was the presence and power of God, trying to burst the bands, break through the bonds, and rise from the dead. When the woman would ask others for an explanation of some passages of the Bible, the answer would be a stone. Then she would hunger for the bread of life. Dr. Quimby diagnosed her case as a mind cloudy and stagnated due to the excitation and fear caused by the inability to see clearly the meaning of the passage of the Bible that she had been reading. This showed itself in her body by the heavy and sluggish feeling that would terminate as paralysis. At this point, Quimby asked her what was meant in the Bible verses. Yet a little while am I with you, and then I go unto him that sent me. Ye shall seek me, and shall not find me, and where I am, thither ye cannot come. I'm going to read that again, just to reiterate what they're saying. So, yet a little while I am with you, and then I go unto him that sent me. Ye shall seek me, and shall not find me, and where I am, thither ye cannot come. And that was from John 7.33-4, 34. She replied that it meant Jesus went to heaven. Quimby explained what it really meant by telling her that being with her a little while meant his explanation of her symptoms, feelings, and their causes. He had compassion and sympathy for her momentarily, but he could not remain in that mental state. The next step was to go to him that sent us. This, Quimby pointed out, was the creative power of God in all of us. Quimby immediately travelled in his mind and contemplated the divine ideal, that is, the vitality, intelligence, harmony, and power of God functioning in the sick person. This is why he said to the woman, "Therefore, where I go, you cannot come, for you are in your narrow, restricted belief, and I am in health." This prayer and explanation produced an instantaneous sensation, and a change came over her mind. She walked without her crutches. Quimby said it was one of the most singular of all his healings. She was, as it were, dead to error, and to bring her to life or truth was to raise her from the dead. Quimby quoted the resurrection of Christ and applied it to her own Christ, or health. This produced a powerful effect on her. He also explained to her that the truth that she accepted was the angel or idea that rolled away the stone of fear, ignorance, and superstition. This then released the healing power of God, which made her whole. The decree method. Power goes into our word according to the feeling and faith behind it. When we realize the power that moves the world is moving on our behalf and is backing up our word, our confidence and assurance grow. You do not try to add power to power. There must be no mental striving, coercion, force, or mental wrestling. A young woman used the decree method on a young man who was constantly phoning her, pressing her for dates. She found it very difficult to get rid of him. When he began to show up at her workplace, she realized that she had to do something drastic at once. Several times a day, she put herself into a quiet state and repeatedly decreed as follows: "I release JR unto God. He is in his true place at all times. I am free and he is free. I now decree that my words go forth into infinite mind and bring it to pass. It is so." According to her, the young man immediately disappeared from her life. She was never seen him since. She says it was as if the ground swallowed him up. "Thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee, and the light shall shine upon thy ways." By Job 22 stroke 28. Serve yourself with scientific truth. Be a mental engineer and use tried and proven techniques in building a grander and greater life. Your desire is your prayer. Picture the fulfillment of your desire now and feel its reality, and you will experience the joy of the answered prayer. Desire to accomplish things the easy way with the sure aid of mental science. You can build radiant health, success, and happiness by the thoughts you think in the hidden studio of your mind. Experiment scientifically until you personally prove that there is always a direct response from the infinite intelligence of your subconscious mind to your conscious thinking. Feel the joy and restfulness in foreseeing the certain accomplishment of your desire. Any mental picture you have in your mind is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. A mental picture is worth 1,000 words. Your subconscious will bring to pass any picture held in the mind, backed by faith. Avoid all effort or mental coercion in prayer. Get into a sleepy, drowsy state and you lull yourself to sleep, feeling and knowing that your prayer is answered. Remember that the thankful heart is always close to the riches of the universe. To affirm is to state that it is so. And as you maintain this attitude of mind as true, regardless of all evidence to the contrary, you will receive an answer to your prayer. Generate waves of harmony, health, and peace by thinking of the love and the glory of God. What you decree and feel as true will come to pass. Decree harmony, health, peace, and abundance. Shall we stop there, Monica? Do you want me to carry on?
We normally read just 10 pages. You already means it's 71 page. So yeah, we can wind up here. His time is also 8:17.
So thank you for that. Do you want me to say my thoughts on what we've just learned, Monica G?
Yeah, that's why put it on the pause, na, that you can, because there was like background.
Sorry, so can't believe how incredible these few chapters that we've read resonate what we're learning again by Babaji's unified course. I can't believe how much there is similarity in what we're learning. For example, in realizing God's qualities and some of the exercises where we have to go to sleep by remembering God's qualities and then seeing those qualities as ourselves. So that's the positive affirmations and that visualization technique. You know, Babaji is teaching us this, you know, in terms of that formula that he's given us, you know, in terms of gratitude, there's thank you in there, there's forgiveness in there, there's a claim and accepting. And this to me is all what Joseph Murphy is saying in a different light. An example of this I can think of is in my younger days when I was 17, I actually applied for a role to go on TV as a fourth main actor, and I rehearsed the lines and I learnt the lines. So in my mind, I was already doing it, I was already in that part. And guess what? I actually got the part. I was chosen to do that role, so I could have been on TV as an actress. But unfortunately, I was only 17, so I needed my parental approval, which I didn't get. But looking back to it, the reason why I got that part, in my mind, I'd rehearsed it and practiced it so much that to me, I was already in that part. I had got that part. And that's what the stories that we've just learned show the same thing in terms of the healing. Of that daughter whose mother was many, many miles away, but she kept putting herself in a sleepy state of mind, which again is what Babaji teaches us in terms of meditation, to sit in a meditative position, to focus on your breathing, calm your mind. And that's exactly what Joseph is saying. Being in a sleepy state, your subconscious will actually hear what your thoughts are. So honestly, this book is incredible. And there's so much knowledge in there, in all the different techniques. There's so much depth in there that I don't think we're giving it justice by doing these, 10 pages. It's just a whole wealth of knowledge that is absolutely amazing. I'm in awe every time we read this book. I'm just in awe and amazement in terms of the similarities of what we're learning through the unified course, of what Babaji is teaching to what Joseph is saying. I bet Babaji's inspired Joseph, just like he did to Rogerji. So heartfelt gratitude once again, Babaji Monikaji, to teach us such amazing techniques and how we can gain power over our subconscious mind to bring to reality a better state of being, whether it's abundance, relationships, health, peace, calmness. It's almost like we've been given that power, and that power is within us. There's no need to go searching elsewhere. The examples he's giving, if you believe it, you can achieve it. As you've said before, where the attention goes, energy flows. So if your attention is constantly on your affirmations of where you want to be and you're visualizing that, then the universe brings it to you. And it's also what's covered in Rhonda Byrne's Magic Book. She says the same thing, of gratitude and thankfulness. And one of the techniques was that thankfulness. Thank you, Father. Every time she said thank you, Father, whatever she was visualizing, affirming, was actually coming true. So I can't get over how incredible this book is, Monica. Amazing.
Yeah, just to add to Meenaji's this thank you for the method. It's like every day we do that deep gratitude during our meditation. So yeah, everything matches. And another thing is it's related to the absolute method where the qualities of God is given, like God is all bliss, boundless love, infinite intelligence. So it all reminded the qualities we every day kind of iterating right in our meditation. Um, so yeah, it's very much complementing the morning meditation. That's why unified course from Babaji. So
It's
it's
like a
really
mirror, isn't it? What we learn in the morning is like a
yeah
mirror of what we're learning now.
yeah
Simultaneously in different words, different era, but it resembles everything that Babaji's taught us. It's amazing.
yeah.
I think
And
Babaji's given Joseph these words.
yeah, sometimes the word matches. That's what I am trying to say. The word also matches God's
Mm,
qualities. So if you see there, it's a para in the absolute method. It really matches what we
mm,
do in the morning. Yeah.
mm. And that God is within us as well. I think that's what they're making reference to, that God resides within us. And that's what Babaji is teaching us, that the light that's within us, within our heart, is actually God's light. As we say in Gujarati, Onsh, Gabra Bhagwan Onshche. We are part and parcel of that supreme divine being. But we just don't realize it. We are perfection. We are perfect. But our little mind hasn't got used to that idea. We've forgotten it. It's inside, but we've forgotten that divine knowledge. And it's almost like every chapter we read through the unified book, it's opening up a new chamber within us to draw us closer to our actual being, which is supreme intelligence. We say God is all knowing intelligence. We're made in the image of God, so we too are all knowing intelligence. But it's making our actions actually mirror that and not listen to the conscious mind, but listen to our subconscious mind to say, actually, no, that is correct. And the higher self, I think he made reference to the higher self as well. Was it today or yesterday? He made reference to our higher self as well. And that's what Babaji says. We need to have that connection with our higher self, which is actually Babaji in the light form, which I only discovered a few weeks ago. At light bulb moment, this higher self is no other than Babaji in a light form that's constantly with us all the time. Heartfelt gratitude. I love this book.
This book gave us the idea the knowledge is always here. It's not like it is in this moment, it was always here. It is from ancient time, it is here. But the thing is, are you ready on a mental, physical, and emotional level to go with it? Are you the pattern breaker, or are you the same? It means we are saying it is like I'm just repeating those words, but from inside and outside, I'm whenever we go with the divine, we are not in a runner and chaser dynamic. I'm not in rush. You're in very much calm and peaceful state. You give yourself time to just go with the flow. Just go. And that is what in all the prayers, if you see, the words chosen by the people are very calm words, not like what happen is, like, sometimes some people have the habit of eating very quickly because they just want to finish the meal. One person is one time my focus is just be here, present here, on mental, physical, and emotional level. And uh, why we are like this? Because we have that pattern of doing multiple things at one time. I'm physically here, mentally I'm somewhere else, and emotionally I'm doing something else. My mind is on all the directions. But whenever you do any task, you need to be very focused, relaxed. This is my time to relax. This is my time to be peaceful and unify with this book. And yes, Babaji, I think he chose this book so that we can repeat the same thing what we did in the morning and in the evening. And it's a surprise what we did in the morning. When you were reading, I was like, oh my god, the same things I was using, means when we were doing meditation. This is the guidance I was receiving.
Mhm.
And we did today meditation in Babaji's cave, which
Mhm.
was like uh, outstanding experience, where Babaji is saying, first connect with me. The moment you will connect with me, you will feel the divine powers. But if you want to surrender to me, you won't work on yourself, then those things won't work. And the same book is this book is the power of your subconscious mind, that in the end, how the lady had get rid of that man,
Mhm.
how powerfully she used those thoughts that she is free, and she make it for herself. So the things are in all era is the same, but the thing is, it here it is the power of your subconscious mind. In the morning we are doing unified course where Babaji is focusing on go outside, then come inside. The mess is not outside, it's inside. Once you declutter this, you become very calm and peaceful. Like right now, we are just focused on a discussion. I'm not thinking about, oh, I have to go for a dinner or something. Yeah, that kind of attention and dedication all the time. Whenever you are manifesting anything, that is very important and very calm when we do any kind of divine work. This book is a divine work.
Mhm.
It's healing us on a different level, giving you answers on a different level. When you were reading, I someone texted me that they need my help, and whatever you were reading, I was like, oh my God, is that exactly? I already recommended that person. I said, I will send you the PDF of this book. I personally believe you need to go with this, and you will see the result. And she said, are you who think means all right, Monica? Do you think that it will resolve my problem? I said, one is I'm telling you, one is when you are see when the author born, when he write down this book, and still this same thing is working on everyone, and it is worldwide. We can say that now everyone accept it, that yes, we have that power, we have that awareness. And for that, all the only thing is I have to break patterns. So thanks to Joseph Murphy for such a wonderful book. And look at the eyes of this wonderful man, like you, full of joy. Look, his this picture is very old, but he the his aura is so magnetic, very energetic, and from
Mhm.
inside very calm and joyful. Means when you are in that time of energy, you unify with God's energy. You become that reflection, because
Is it? Mhm.
you hold that kind of aura within you, and
Mhm.
we can see it from his eyes, that how happy he is from inside and outside. And this book, and when you are doing work on yourself, and when you're meeting the people having the same faith, and the faith change their life, it gives you a right direction. Doesn't matter where I am in this present moment, but in future I know, means
Mhm.
where I want to go and how the things will work in my favor. So deep gratitude to you and Vaniji also for doing the reading part. And uh, this book is, I personally believe, like right now, okay, we are going with the 10-10, but I think if sometime after, once we will finish this book, we will go with one prayers, because it's really very amazing things he shared. And we all have unique gifts, we all are unique, we have our own mindset where we can transform those things and create something new. You don't
Mm.
need to copy anyone, you need, because all the time then you will look for the content from other people. But the moment you start working with the your own intuition, like he got the same knowledge what Roger got. It's
Mm.
surprising, it's very surprising,
I'm
right?
surprised there's not given credit to Babaji through it. I'm surprised
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah,
acknowledgement.
the things are the same, but how the means similarity is the same, idea is the same, but the story is completely different,
Mm.
right? The
Mm.
same, but this is a beautiful thing, that how God give us so many live example. Look around you, there are so many people, you are just crying, you don't have this, and this means for small things we get stressed, right? There are people who don't have shelter, who are who don't have food, or so many other issues, who are not health wise good. We won't think about those things. My
Mm.
mind always goes where I am doing something wrong.
Mm.
So
And can
it's
I
a
just say, Joseph G looks like he's oozing love and radiance. That picture of him is actually oozing love. You
yeah.
can actually feel that positivity,
Yeah,
even though
you
he's.
feel, yeah, automatically, that's what I am saying, that before I was drawn to him, when I saw in his eyes, it was like, literally like Babaji is looking towards me.
Mm. Mm. But
Because
the eyes are not his, it's Babaji's eyes inside him that's
yeah.
giving him this knowledge for us to learn and share from and grow.
Meenati, whenever you are in a healing profession, or whenever you are meeting with the people who get healed, their energy is completely different. It is not like normal ordinary people, because a healer is why people come to the person. That person holds some energies, that's why people love to come to that person, right?
Mm.
And when you are surrounded with those people, that's how your energy increase. And
Mm.
it's vice versa also. What kind of energies you are holding, means if it is not like that's why we go to the healers to heal us. It come back to you. What means because we all have our different energies, we have to match our energies. Everyone is unique, we all have our own healing things, right? I can heal just myself, you can heal yourself. But this book is outstanding, telling us use your subconscious mind to get rid of the things, declutter your thoughts, and erase those things, and always says all is well, I'm perfect, I'm free, I'm
Mm.
walking free.
Mm.
I'm walking free, and I'm whole, healed, and complete.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the person said that I'm healed.
Mm.
This is the and even in Babaji's book, Babaji mentioned that everyone is already healed. There
Mm.
is no blockage. It's the blockage is here in your mind, and it's beautiful. Like when you start thinking good about the things, things change.
Mm.
But if you are going with the things, one thing is wrong and you're too much focused on that, so 10 more things will go wrong, because you already clear means not clear about the things. And that's very nice book. And I highly recommend it for means to everyone, especially to the youth who won't trust in all these things.
Mm. Mm.
Because it's an eye opener, that how
Mm.
faith transform your things.
Mm.
And it's really helpful.
It
I
also
wish
reminds me,
yeah,
sorry, it also reminds me of mindfulness. That's
yeah,
what we're learning, mindfulness of what you said, to focus on the present here and now
yeah,
and
yeah.
show gratitude at the same time. Like
Hmm.
actually focus, like when you're eating, show gratitude before you eat, whilst you're eating, and actually taste what you're eating. I mean, some people have the habit of eating in front of the TV or talk or something, but you're missing that actual gratitude element and actually enjoying your food,
Food,
because your
yeah.
vibrations whilst you're eating automatically affects your thoughts, I think. So if you're eating in a rush or you're doing another thing at the same time, you're not getting the full benefit of that actual energy from the food. And it also reminds me of Paul McKenna, who does hypnotism, and he can transform people's phobias and fears within minutes. He teaches techniques which are absolutely amazing, where you touch, like if you do this, you're hugging yourself. You know, the various things that he teaches is the same sort of principle in terms of the word and the subconscious mind over your conscious mind. And again, he gets them into a drowsy, sleepy state through hypnotism. And that's the same sort of principle, I think. And that works magic.
Even, when you were reading about the sleepy and all those, I was literally feeling so sleepy, and I was like, I don't want to turn my video on, but she will see me that I'm sleeping, but I was feeling so drowsy, like I want to sleep. This is the means this shows how connected, how involved you are with the author when you are reading the book, how much you give importance to the words he shared with you, and those words directly go inside you, and you feel like, oh my god, Babaji, wow, it is like your command, because every single word was like, I was like, oh, we are reading a unified book, or we are reading this.
Honestly, I was totally absorbed. I wanted to carry on. It's like, this is so powerful, so like amazing and relaxing at the same time.
Yeah.
I could feel myself being really relaxed compared to before I started. I was quite a bit hyper before I started running around. But the minute I started reading the words, they're so powerful. You
Yeah,
know, like you
it's
said, it's
happened.
Babaji's
Even
words.
before the session, I was over the call, and I was like, "Hello, I have just 10 minutes left. Yeah, I don't have time to chat with you. I have plenty of other things to do. I have just 10 minutes." I turned the laptop on, and I don't know. I didn't check, the
The
sound is not there.
music wasn't there.
Music, yeah, is not there. But on my laptop, because I played it on laptop, so the volume was full. I didn't realize that, and I joined with my phone later on. And when I joined with my phone, I was like, huh? What? What happened? Means
I thought it
my
was
mind is like,
deliberate.
we are going to do recording and everything. Let me check, there is Zoom is right, everything else is right before we proceed for the things. But means apart from that, the other means things we make ready before coming to the session. The PDF needs to be open. The volume,
Fantastic.
everything is perfect. Recording, we can do it on the spot. You
Mm.
didn't record today?
I did press record, I think.
Okay, okay.
I think I pressed it. I'm not
Okay,
sure.
all right. Okay. Thank you very much for today's session. We'll meet tomorrow
Do you want to
again.
do a quick pranayam? Do you have time? 2 minutes to 3
Okay,
minutes?
yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
So if today I was thinking we do the Anuvilom pranayam, that is also super relaxing because it helps your nadis and it's very simple, very straightforward. You probably know it already. So basically, sit in a relaxed posture with your back straight. Remove any glasses if you're wearing them. You take your thumb, you cover your left nostril, you breathe out through your left nostril, and then you breathe in through your left nostril, and then you cover your left nostril and hold your breath, and then you let it out through your right nostril. That's half a cycle. You repeat the same. You breathe in through the right nostril, hold it, out through the left nostril. So if we do that, I'll see how you do it as well. We try and do about 5 or so. You'll feel the difference at the end, even by doing just a simple number. So cover your left nostril and you put your index and middle finger down. Leave your ring finger and your little finger up. Cover your left nostril, back straight, and you breathe out gently through your left nostril. Breathe in through your left nostril. Cover your left nostril and hold. And gently release through your right nostril. In through your right nostril. Cover your thumb with your right nostril and hold. And gently release through your left nostril. And that completes one cycle. So I'll repeat again for the next one, and then the last 3 you can do on your own. So cover your right nostril, in through your left, out through your left nostril. Breathe in, Cover your left nostril, hold, gently release through your right nostril. In through your right nostril, hold, out through your left nostril. So in your own time, we'll do 3 lots. On your own, thanks. Gently rub your hands, place them over your beautiful eyes, and we'll count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes and your hands. Feel the positive divine energy just created and put it all over your body. Head, ears, neck, shoulders, arms, chest, stomach, legs. And namaste. Deep, deep gratitude. I hope you found that relaxing, because I certainly find it relaxing. Helps before meditation as well, and it puts you to sleep. So if you've got trouble trying to sleep, this really helps you to go to sleep as well. And if you chant Om when you're going to sleep, that stops your thoughts. If you just focus on Om before you go to sleep, that helps you sleep well as well.
Thank you.
So,
I'm already feeling very sleepy.
I think it's my voice.